Oh, there you are, YouTube. We're getting ready to go to the movie theater for the very first time since the pandemic started. The very last movie I saw in the theater was Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Is that the same for you? Yeah, so that's the last time we were in a movie theater, but now we're going to see A Quiet Place 2, and we're going to a multiplex that actually changed owners because the old company basically folded during the pandemic. They couldn't, make ends meet. So now it's a new place owned by, used to be Goodrich Theaters, and now it's Phoenix Theaters. So this is, in some ways, a brand new experience for us in many ways. It's a new company, and we're back at the theater. There it is. We're the only ones here. No one's in the parking lot. So, I don't know. Maybe theaters aren't fully back. They're just here. IMAX is an option. Actually, I don't know if it is for this movie, but we're not watching it that way. We're watching it on a normal screen. First steps. Well over a year. Where do we go? Looks like they still have D-Box, which is one of our favorite ways to watch the Fast and Furious movies. Always love a movie standee. Just waiting on some chicken strips. Just realized it's my lunchtime and I need to eat. Chicken tenders ready? Theater 9.
And I want to make trouble. The character is so much fun and so wild black and white hair is incredible. How are you playing?
Fresh, hot, so hot and tasty. Spicy ranch dipping sauce.
You're watching Screen Vision Media's Front and Center. Stay tuned. We've got more entertainment coming your way. Front and Center.
That's good. See you after the movie. I'm going to talk more about it tonight, but we both give it 2 very enthusiastic, let's go Ebert style, thumbs up. Don't you agree?
Yes.
There's the other thumb. We absolutely loved it. Okay, so it's later in the day now. I had time to think everything over. First off, being back in a movie theater felt fantastic for both me and my wife. It had been for each of us. The Rise of Skywalker was the last movie we saw. She saw it twice in the theater. I only saw it once. So she has been to a movie theater more recently than me, but it was so cool to be back. We like to go during the middle of the week now, early, like that's sort of how we've always gone to the movie theater. We don't really do the weekends anymore, so it was very nice to not have very many people there. There's only one other person in the auditorium with us, so that was great. And I don't know, it was just, to smell the popcorn, to see the displays, to see the posters. Although, weirdly, I don't think I saw a Quiet Place 2 poster while I was there. I mean, it's barely been out. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. I don't know, I just thought that was kind of interesting that I didn't see anything for that. But maybe they didn't put anything extra out for it because the movie was supposed to release, before the pandemic, or sort of right when the pandemic was starting, and then it got pushed back. So maybe they just didn't re-release a bunch of materials to display. So that might have been what was going on there. But to the movie, it is so strange how weird it is to watch movies when you have kids. They are so much more affecting if children are involved in the movie. I mean, the opening scene, which was a flashback that had John Krasinski in it, and man, you do really miss John Krasinski in this movie. That doesn't mean it's a bad movie. I mean, he's in it. He's in the beginning through flashback, but you miss him because he was so good in the first one. He just plays such a great dad, right? But just the beginning is so action-packed. It's sort of showing you, I guess, how all of this starts, and when this family first saw basically the aliens coming to Earth, and just all of the sort of take over moments. Okay, I need to be a survivor here. I need to be a protector. I need to protect my kids. All of that sort of stuff was going on, and it was just fantastic. My wife and I were in tears in the theater, just crying. And again, before I had kids, I don't think that would have been affecting. I would have been like, oh yeah, this is cool action. But you're feeling so much for the kids and the parents. You know the stress that the parents are in to keep those kids safe, and it is amplified because we are talking about aliens here, not just, I don't know, just the general things, bunking their head on this, getting a black eye over here, poking themselves with their fork or whatever. Everything we're trying to keep our kids safe from in the house during the pandemic was, so much smaller versus, what they are going through. But I don't know, there was just this movie said so much about so many things. Cillian Murphy is in the movie because, John Krasinski's character died in the first one, right? So Cillian Murphy, it's established in the flashback that they knew him. They were friends. Everybody lived in a small town. They were friends. And he's in this one. They stumble upon him, and sort of the way he's designed, even in the flashback, could point to him being post-invasion during the invasion, he could be a bad person, turned into a bad guy. I just feel like all the mise-en-scène that they're showing, all the cinematic language that they are presenting is saying this guy could be a bad guy that you're going to see later on in the movie. And I love that with that design they gave him, he did not turn out being a bad guy. You could say he was, I don't know, I'm going to use a word that he probably isn't, but I just can't think of a better one. You could say he's like a coward, I guess, later, but he's lost so much. He's lost his family, and he's just kind of like, I can't help anyone when they stumble on him. I don't have enough food for all of you. He's not like, I am mean, get out of here. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word. Anyway, it's not him being a bad person, like get out of here. It's I don't have any food. I can't take care of you. I'm sorry you have to go because I only have enough food for me. And he starts coming around to being able to help them with certain things. And so where the other one was, they were trapped on a farm. They were not trapped on a farm. They were on a farm, and then, I guess you could still say trapped. The aliens are sort of coming in, right? Here the aliens have taken over, and they are trying to get to a destination where they believe might be free of these aliens, like on an island, right? And I just feel like that is new to the film, and that's kind of nice where, it's almost like a journey movie where the previous one wasn't that. So I like that difference. I like that Cillian Murphy is brought into the cast, and he is completely good. And I love that the movie didn't at all, none, not a single bit of sexual tension between him and Emily Blunt's character. That was fantastic because I feel like every other movie would do that. As they're traveling, they come in contact with some bad guys, and you just expect that to be the rest of the movie. Great. They've come in contact with bad guys. We are going to have to deal with this the rest of the movie. This is just going to be like The Walking Dead, a show that I love, but it was just kind of like, okay, this is The Walking Dead now. They just have to deal with these bad guys. That's the rest of the movie. It wasn't. It was quick. It was just like in and out, which I thought was a fantastic way to present that and give that, just show the harsh realities of the world outside of just the aliens and needing to keep quiet, but dealing with it in an efficient manner. I thought that was nice and concise and done very well. Same thing with some of the traveling. They have to travel by boat, and they don't show you the travel by boat. You see them get to the boat, and then you see them off the boat, and it was just like so great. Any other movie was going to be like, all right, we're going to have to, harsh waves or this or that. There were just so many moments where I was like, oh great, this is going to happen, and it didn't happen. So it was just like so exciting that they were taking away all of my negative expectations and not giving them to me at all. They were doing only good things. zero sexual tension. Killian's a good guy. The bad guys are dealt with swiftly. We don't have to watch them on the boat. It was just so great when they get to the place. Should I say that? I probably should have said there were some spoilers here. When they get to the place, you're like, great. Like, Jaimon Hanso is it seems like he's sort of like the leader of everybody on this island, right? I mean, it seems like a community of people, and it seems like he's sort of maybe in charge. And you're like, okay, great. They're gonna be like cannibals or something. They're gonna be a cult or something. And they're not. They're just normal people here to help. And it's just so satisfying that is the route it took, and it wasn't like, okay, now we have another bad group to deal with. It was just done so well and different. It didn't hit those cliche things that I was expecting. It like it dangled them in front of you, and then it said, nope, we're not going to go cliche. We're going to change it up here. And it wasn't like a major change, like a twist or something. It was just a fresher way to go about some of these tropes. I shouldn't say, because these weren't tropes. They were avoiding tropes. They were beginning to present these tropes, but then not giving them to you. And I really respect that out of this movie. It is extremely emotional. This says a lot about friendship, I feel like, a lot about grief, a lot about passing knowledge to your children stepping up, growth within them, strength, bravery. There's so much going on with the kids that we're seeing, sacrifice. I mean, there's a scene where two of the kids, the son, Marcus, and the baby are trapped in this place that's running out of oxygen, and they have the little tank that they use for the baby when they have to put the baby to conceal it, so it's the aliens can't hear it cry. And the young boy, he they're sharing the oxygen mask, but when he realizes it's getting low, he gives it to the baby. And it's like, and he allows himself to pass out. And it's like, that kid is so good. There's just so, I don't know, I just thought it was so uplifting, a lot of terrifying, and it was so good. Lots of heart. I just love horror film that has so much like family values or something. I don't know how to put it. It was just like an uplifting horror film, Like, there were genuinely scary moments, lots of like freaky action, I guess, but I was just heartfelt. My wife and I were in tears for so much of the movie. It was done so well, and I hope everybody sees it. I think it's just as good. You missed John Krasinski, but I think it is just as good as the first one. Focuses a little bit more on the kids, but it doesn't feel like a kid's film, like for kids. I think kids could watch it, like 80s kids, early 90s kids could watch it. Some of the stuff we were watching, when we were kids, was much scarier than this. But I don't know, I when it comes to like Oscars, the first one I would have like nominated Emily Blunt, definitely. And in this one, even though he's only shown in a flashback, I feel like I would nominate John Krasinski, because he is so good in the little screen time he is given. He is so good. Excuse me. And then the person who plays, come on, let me get is it Millicent? The actress's name, Millicent, I believe. The one who plays Regan. She's leading this film, and I think they deserve, I mean, it's still early on, but if they gave her an Oscar nomination for lead, I would be ecstatic. I think that would be fantastic and great. Emily Blunt isn't like as much of a focus in this one as in the first one, I would say. So, maybe not for her, but what I would give Millicent a lead nomination so far, and Krasinski a supporting so far. Anyway, I feel like I've talked a lot about it. It feels so good to be back in the movie theaters, and it was great. It was so good, and I can't wait to go again. It feels new and it feels normal at the same time. I'm just happy to be back in movie theaters the way I like to be in when there's not a lot of people there. But in saying all of that, thank you so much for watching this vlog and review, and my first time back at the movie theater meant a lot to me, and perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.